Okay, this is the house we're getting ready to take a look at. You can see this is the Hurd Craig house. It was actually built in 1900, and it is on the National Register of Historic Places. So I'll leave it here for just a second, then if you want to pause the video and read that, you can. Okay, so here's the Hurd house. There's a little bit of rough action there on that. But let's spin that around. So you can see this is a Victorian style house. And I think they call it a half Queen Anne. Looks like it's got a porch back there in the back. And it's got a three-sided porch. If you can see my finger over here, then straight across, and then over on that end. So I think that's pretty. Okay, so here we're continuing on. You see the porch up closer, and hopefully the top as well. And back there we have a little side porch on the back, and hopefully that comes through real nice. So that's that. Pretty cool. Here is the front door to it. I don't know if you can see or not, but the columns up here, those are pretty cool. Tell you what I'll do. So pretty cool. And then we'll go up and take a look at the windows of the transoms up here. Okay, so hopefully here you have a really nice view of this nice transom here. Got blues and greens, orange, whites. About all the real colors that I see. Bordered with blue. That's pretty cool. And if you look up here at the top, this old iron pipe looks like, I guess, for maybe a sprinkler system. Looks like, yeah, it's definitely sprinklers coming out of that. So that's pretty cool. And then just to get into a close up here, let me get this steady again. Now you can see right here, you can see this column and the way that that's formed. So that's pretty cool. All right, here I am on the east side of the house, and hopefully here first, let's just do this. Get you a view down there. And hope this is coming through because the sun is straight up there, so I'm trying to hide from it. So I hope a majority of this is coming through for you to see. Okay, so here we are on the opposite side of the house. I just want to show you a little bit about this. Got two chimneys up there at the top. Hopefully you can see those. Alright, this here is a Wysong house. This was built in 1905. We started over here. We'll do a little bit of sliding. And one thing to talk about this house is the transoms above the windows. You can see there's a little bit of a design, but not too much. Pretty simple house, just a brick house. Its age, I mean, it's 110 years old now, so that's what kind of makes it special. Okay, this house here doesn't seem to be on the tour, well, unless it's later. So I don't know what it's called, but it does have a Texas historical marker up there on the porch. It's a quaint little Victorian house with a two-sided porch at least, and a green in color. I'm sure that's coming through, hopefully. I just spin it around a little bit for you to see. I'm sure it's getting the whole thing already, but I think it's a pretty cute house. So hopefully you like that one. Okay, this place here is called a quadplex. This was actually built in the 1920s. It's the only one that remains. And from the literature I read, it says that this is the precursor to apartments in America. So obviously, since it's a quad, this is 4 apartments. So 4 families living in here, or can live in here. And its historical significance is the age of it, of course, and what it stands for. So while it may not look like much, it's only a quadplex in the entire area. It's the only one that's left to remain standing. This house here in front of us is a Greek revival house. I think is what they called it, or a colonial revival. I think maybe that's what it was. But anyhow, It's just a representative of that type of a style. And very small house. Almost looks like a craftsman style to me, but you know, they don't have a porch, so usually they do. But it's a very small house, and got a big hole back there in the side back there. I guess nice home for birds and squirrels and stuff. But that's Colonial Revival, so hopefully you like that one. All right, now here we've got a Tudor style house. It says at some point it was actually split into 2 apartments, so I guess it still is. There's a couple of doors there. Let me just kind of wing this around and show you just how nice this is. Got nice columns on it. Got nice brickwork and rock work around the doors, or at least that door there. See the chimney right there in the middle? And then of course right over here, definitely gives it that distinctive Tudor look with that big pointed roof up here on the right. And then it's got a magnolia tree even over here. I know at least some of that should be coming in. And that should pretty much be the whole magnolia tree, hopefully. So let's just get a straight on shot of this if we can. Alright, so hopefully that whole thing's coming in, and it's definitely a good looking house. Looks like what we're looking at right here is another Tudor style house, just down the street from the one that we just looked at. And if you look over here on the right hand side, hopefully it's coming through. There's a nice little porch there. So it's a good looking place. This is a cross between a prairie house and a neoclassical house. So hopefully the whole thing is coming in. It's got a really nice porch on it. I really definitely like the porch. It's a nice good sized house. So definitely like the color scheme and everything. It's kind of a light yellowish with a green accent. So pretty nice house. Hopefully you like this one as well. And the traffic on these side streets. Okay, so over here that we're looking at, this is a craftsman style house. So these things were really popular way back in the early part of the 1900s, the 20th century. And you see the porch, and you see the open rafters and everything on it. That's part of that style. So this is what you're seeing. Got some nice awnings on it too, actually. So very quaint house. Really nice steps, actually. If you notice the stairs they've got on it, nice rock, and then of course a nice sized little medium-sized porch. So definitely a pretty house. Okay, so this style of house here, this is an arts and crafts. This was built around 1920. Cute little house, yellow. I like the color. Got a nice little porch on it. So I think that's pretty. Just kind of swing you around here. And hopefully you should be seeing the whole thing by now. Pretty nice little house, don't you think? Hope you agree. Okay, right here in front of us is a bungalow style home. You see it's got a front porch all the way across it, so that's nice. And then those columns, they call those Tuscan columns. You see there's 4 of them. So I wish it's a little different color, you know, but at least on the door and the windows up there, it's got some accents on that. So sets it apart a little bit. Okay, this house right here, this is a classical revival and bungalow mix. So you can see it's got a porch pretty much all the way across it, and it actually goes around. It is on the Texas State Historical marker up there. It's got on the porch over there left of that window. So if I slide around here just a little bit, you can see it's got a big gigantic tree there as well. And I'm going to take you over this way and try to shade this from the sun. The sun is just crazy. And you can see it's got the open rafters and all that stuff too, so it's sort of craftsman style as well, if you ask me. So sort of a mix, really, of several styles. Okay, over here in front of us we've got a classic revival house built in 1920. It is a brick house. It's been painted gray, very light gray. So, you know, for me, not crazy about the color. I think they could have done something else to make it stand out. They've got a nice Lexus in the driveway, and sadly a Chevy on the street. But, you know, shouldn't exist at all. Pretty good size house. Great big porch there. I really like the porch. You can see it's got part closed, part open, so you've got your choice of what you want there. So overall, I'd say pretty nice, and for it to be 95 years old, looks like it's in really good shape. Okay, this is a circa 1900, so wow, 115 years old, folk Victorian house. You can see it's got a two-sided porch, or hopefully you can. Some nice windows up there at the top. Got a great big window there in the front. And then of course we got the doorway there. Hope all this is coming through. I'm thinking it probably is. The sun's right through that tree. So I'm not sure if that's coming through or not, but it's a big magnolia tree. But anyhow, porch got a couple little problems there I can see, but other than that, for a house that's 115 years old, looks to be in darn good shape to me. Hope you like it. Okay, what we're looking at here is a circa 1900 vernacular two-story Victorian home. It has elements of classical revival and arts and crafts style influences in it, and I'd say that's true. So it's definitely a mixture of a house. Again, it's got a two-sided porch, a lot of windows, and being two-story, of course, gives some good square footage. Got a chimney up there, so not a bad looking house in my mind. And again, it's on the State Historical Register as well. Okay, this style house here, this is an arts and crafts style. It's circa 1920, so it's about 95 years old. And it's got what they're calling battered foundation. So look over here on the left hand side, you can see how it sort of flares out. So they call that battered, apparently. Hopefully this camera's angled enough where the whole top is coming in, I hope anyway. I got a tree that I hope is blocking the sun. And these used to be very, very popular houses, I know, back in the 40s and 50s especially. But overall, it's definitely not bad. Let me just take this loose. I'm going to tilt this back. I just want to make sure I'm getting the whole thing. Hopefully I am. Let me swing this around one more time. Okay, we're going to start here, and hopefully this angle will definitely get everything. At least I'm hoping. So just sliding around here slowly. And again, you can see arts and crafts style. Very, very nice.